Leonard McQuillan,
Ryan Leonard,
Leonard McQuillan. Like what?
like Leonard Skinner.
Oh, okay. That's a good way to remember it, Leonard Skinner. Okay, so now, Mr. Leonard, how are you doing? That's good. And Ms. Peraza, what is your announcement in Mr. McQuillan's case?
Yes, sir. So, we have received an offer in Mr. McQuillan's case. We've reviewed all of the discovery. However, I would like to hold off on any pleas that we do so I can visit with the state based on what transpired here today with Mr. Lane's case, because it involves a similar situation, and I would like to hear the ruling of the court in that
Okay,
case before we
okay.
actually do the plea,
Okay. So let's,
because it would affect my case.
okay,
as well.
okay. So, give us a reset date. Yeah, on Mr. McQuillan. Yes. Okay, Mr. McQuillan, your case will be reset December 9th. You're gonna stay in contact, your attorney's gonna get your reset date. Once you get your reset date from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Please stand on the X. Okay, you're welcome. Yep, okay,
And I believe I have two more cases.
yes. We have three cases, cause number 324-360 and cause number 332-004 and cause number 333-070. All three cases are styled in state of Texas versus Kevin Lamont Rollins. Mr. Rollins is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Rollins, you can take your mic off of mute. Mr. Rollins, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, Joan. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Rollins. I see here that in the first case, cause number 324-360, You are represented by Attorney James Paget, who is appearing in court. And the second two cases, it does not appear that you have an attorney.
I'm representing him on those two, Your Honor. I just have some paperwork to file.
Oh, you hadn't, okay. Your attorney, Mr. Paget, who's on your first case, will be filing a letter of representation on your second and your third case. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So, Mr. Paget, okay, he was to enroll in vet court?
He is in the court.
Oh, he is in
Your Honor,
veterans court.
I don't know if it's Veterans Court that he's in. It's through a veterans program. I connected him with Spindletop. Dealing with mobile mental health court initiative, Mr. Hinton.
Yeah, that's the,
and,
he's with, yeah, they
And
with,
so he is currently has been connected. Wade is handling.
yeah, Wade is
Correct.
with,
So when we were in court last time, we actually,
I
Wade
think he's,
approached and
yeah,
spoke
I
in
think
court.
Wade is with, the Veterans Court program.
Right. So I went through Steve and Steve got him in touch with Wade. So
Right.
he's now participating in that.
Okay,
program.
okay.
Doing very well.
Okay, how long have you been in the program, Mr. Rollins?
I want to say about a month and a half. Seemed like it could be a little
Okay, so you
longer.
just started.
He started after we were in court last time.
Okay,
and that
so,
was-
so what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna reset it at least 90 days.
That's fine. And in the meantime, I'll file the paperwork to connect. I'm
Right.
helping him on all his cases.
Right, Mr. Porter. We're gonna reset your case about 90 days to give you a chance to continue to participate in that veterans program. And then in 90 days, we're gonna get a status report as to how you're doing in the program and how the program is going, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's just give him at least a 90-day reset. January 9th? Okay, this case is going to be reset to January 9th, 2023. Mr. Rollins, your attorney, is gonna get your reset. Just continue to participate in that program, and stay in contact with your attorney and your bouncers. Okay, and you
Yes,
have
sir.
a blessed day. You're free to go.
Yes, sir. You do the same.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
being patient with us.
He's doing
Yes, sir.
good.
Okay,
Super proud of him.
okay.
He's going,
Okay,
come when you're ready.
Nicholas Eaglin. And see if Catlin Moore is out there as well.
Nick Eaglin is signing pretrial diversion contracts. I mean, if he's not.
Oh,
here-
he is?
If he's not here, I'll try to locate him, get him up on Zoom.
Who?
And we have-
Oh, Catlin Moore? Would you come forward?
and I also have
Could you turn that,
Frank Trailer. I'll get him.
okay, hold on a minute. Okay. Now, this is cause number 329-784, case of style of state of Texas versus Catlin G. Moore, or Catlin George Moore. Is that correct? Mr. Moore, how are you doing? I'm doing fine. Mr. Moore, you're represented here by your attorney, Attorney James Paget. Mr. Paget, what is your announcement in Mr. Moore's case?
Your Honor, we have to appear at 1:30 in Orange on the 19th. So we're working something out over there in coordination with the court here. So if I can go over there, if you would just get us past the 19th,
Okay,
then I think we're gonna work out both cases.
okay, give us a date.
Past the 19th.
Yeah.
Next month,
This month?
It's this month.
this month.
Yeah,
So maybe if you just give us maybe a week to communicate with the prosecutor here and get things
a
worked.
week after the 19th?
That would be perfect.
Okay.
Is it
Okay.
your case, Mr.? It is.
It'll
Thank
be
you.
October 24th.
Okay.
Perfect.
Gonna be reset to October 24th, you said?
Perfect. We're going over on the 19th.
Okay, you can get your reset. Your attorney's gonna get your case reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. This is, Catlin Moore. Where's about Nicholas Eaglin?
Mr. Eaglin, I'm not sure if he didn't answer. I'm gonna try to get him to get up on Zoom, Your Honor.
Okay, I gotta
Because
see
he
what,
has been.
he was
accepted
here
at the
earlier.
pre-trial. Was he? Okay, good.
Yeah, I have him checked off.
Good. Because he is in the pretrial diversion program.
Is, Nicholas Eaglin here?
Let me, try to get a hold of him, Your Honor. I also have a Frank Traylor with my lap.
Trailer's on what,
He's on, announcement docket for first appearance.
trailer?
Frank Traylor Jr.
Second page.
Okay. Is he, once you get Frank Trey, he's at the bottom of the second page.
Yes, ma'am. And I'm gonna try to get a hold of Mr. Eaglin. Maybe he stepped outside.
Court is in session in clause number 3328848, case of style of the state of Texas versus Frank Trailer, and also clause number 3328852. Case is also style the state of Texas, well, both cases are style the state of Texas versus Frank Taylor Jr. Mr. Taylor, is that your full name? Trailer, Frank Trailer Jr. How you doing, Mr. Trailer? You doing all right? Okay, Mr. Trailer, you represented here by your attorney James Padgett. Attorney Padgett, what is your announcements in Mr. Trailer's cases?
Your Honor, over the weekend, I received an offer from the prosecutor here, and I'm going to sit down with my client and relay that offer to him. I'm also waiting on a video on the reckless driving case. So I have not received a videotape on the reckless driving yet.
Okay.
That is a little bit of a holdup. But
Okay,
in the meantime, I will relay the offer from the state to my
Okay.
client.
okay, how much time you need?
Just a regular reset, Your Honor.
Okay.
I requested the discovery on 9/13.
Okay,
So as of 10/10 today, I have not received the video evidence. But I did put in the proper request.
okay,
December 1.
Just want to make the court aware.
okay. So this case will be reset to December 9th of 2022. Mr. Trailer, your attorney is on the side for your reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go. And you have a blessed day. Thank you.
And I'm gonna try to get a hold of Mr. Eaglin, if you could hold on that.
Okay, school, okay, we'll hold. Okay, this is clause number 3301002, case of style state of Texas versus Elex King. Mr. King, is that your full name, Elex L. King?
Yes, sir, exactly.
Okay, how you doing, Mr. King?
I'm all right, and yourself?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. King. You're represented by your attorney Laura Carrazzo. Attorney Carrazzo, the case was on hold to give you and the prosecutor an opportunity to negotiate.
Yes, sir. We
And
come to an agreement.
you have,
That's correct.
what's the agreement?
So there, the state is going to reduce Mr. King's case to a JP. there's gonna be a JP reduction.
Oh,
to
okay.
Possession of drug.
Okay,
paraphernalia.
okay, okay. So we
Yeah,
just
so
need to
a little
reset
time-
it
a
enough
little
time
time
for you to get it
refiled.
refiled?
Yes.
Okay, just reset this case. It's gonna be a JP reduction. How much time you
Maybe
need?
to the December 9th docket, since I'll be here then for multiple cases.
December 9th?
Okay.
Okay. He's the last one on the trial docket, Elex King. Now, on the trial docket, the last person, page 3.
Thank you, Judge.
You are. Mr. King, you can stand on the X next to your attorney. She's gonna sign for your reset. Once you get the reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
You as well, Joe.
Thank you.
Judge, not approach on
Hold on a minute. What case is that?
your, plates on the announcement document.
What's your client's name?
Wendy Conlon.
Fontenot.
Plates on-
Oh, yeah, she's that's an announcement document. Is Ms. Fontenot here? Ms. Fontenot, would you please come forward?
And I believe there's paperwork here as well, Judge. for- Mr. Johnson, Mr. Johnson. Drawing. Discovery certificate.
Here it is. Computer a little slow.
Judge, it doesn't look like, just FYI, and this may be intentional, but it doesn't look like you're connected to audio like you do. The court's not broadcasting audio.
Looks like it is. From my standpoint,
I may be incorrect.
I don't know.
It just says click to join audio.
Oh, I think that's the, hold on a minute.
I could be incorrect.
Let me see, let me check it.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, there we go. Okay. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is now in session and calls number 325-436. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Wendy Renee Fontenot. Ms. Fontenot, is that your full name? How you doing, Ms. Fontenot? That's good. Ms. Fontenot, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Fontenot, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Ms. Fontenot, you may put your hand down. Ms. Fontenot, are you here represented by your attorney, Attorney William Wilkerson? Attorney Wilkerson, how are you doing?
I'm all right, Judge. Thank you.
Mr. Wilkinson, do you waive a record in Ms. Fontenot's case?
Yes, Your Honor, we did.
Ms. Fontenot, I have before me an information that has been filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. This information alleges that on or about May 27 of 2019, while you're in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated while you were operating a motor vehicle in a public place. Ms. Fontenot, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Ms. Fontenot, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No question.
Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Fontenot, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment, also labeled State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, Ms. Fontenot, there's a set of initials, WF, that's on a line next to a box that's check nolo contendere, which means no contest. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And are these your initials on the line that's titled nolo contendere, meaning no contest?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that's titled defendant. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
On the next document that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature above the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
And at the top of this document, there are two boxes that are checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
I also have another document here. This document is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, Ms. Fontenot, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney, Mr. Marcus Wilkerson, go over these documents with you? And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Ms. Fontenot, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State. I have before me State's Exhibit number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment, and State's Exhibit number 2, the probable cause affidavit. State, you like to offer States 1 and 2?
Yes, Your Honor. State officer states 1 and 2.
Any
No
objections?
objection, Your Honor.
No objection. States Exhibits 1 and 2 are admitted. Ms. Fontenot, your attorney, Mr. Wilkerson, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Wilkerson, you've advised and counseled Ms. Fontenot. Is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
Not at all, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Fontenot, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waiver is freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement in this case?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
In exchange for the defendant's plea of no contest in this case, Your Honor, we're recommending confinement in the Jefferson County Jail for a period of 90 days, Your Honor. We're asking that the court suspend the imposition of that sentence, place defendant on community supervision for a period of 1 year, Your Honor. Require defendant to pay $1,000 fine to complete 80 hours of community service, and for the DWI standard probation conditions to include a DWI education course plus a drug and alcohol assessment.
Okay. Ms. Fontenot, the state is offering that you serve 90 days in the Jefferson County Jail. You will not have to serve any time in Jefferson County Jail on this case because you'll be placed on probation for a period of 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $1,000 plus court costs of $517. You'll also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month. You'll be required to pay a urinalysis fee of $15 each month. You'll be required to pay or to reimburse Jefferson County Court appointed attorney's fees of $250. You will also be required to pay Jefferson County DWI education class and initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Ms. Fontenot, your total monthly installments for this case will be $240 per month. Ms. Fontenot, will you be able to pay the $240 each month?
Yes, sir.
You'll also be required to perform 80 hours of community service. You'll be required to attend and complete the DW education class and have a drug and alcohol assessment. And you will also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. Ms. Fontenot, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Fontenot, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Ms. Fontenot, you're gonna stand on the X next to your attorney. You're gonna follow the directions of our clerk. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I believe that's my only case. on the
Okay,
docket.
and Mr. Wilkerson, once you sign the paperwork, you'll be free to go as well, and you have a blessed day.
Thank
Right over there. Can I get you guys some back on that blue light in front of you?
Okay, is Sean Hendry? Yeah. Oh, he has a felony case too.
I just found that out, so.
State's ready to go forward on the burglary case, Judge, on cause number 322
Yeah,
272.
okay. Let me ask you this here, on the cases, 3 cases that the 3 other misdemeanor cases, do you, Mr. Hendry, do you have an attorney on that?
No, I'm gonna hire one.
Were you hired on this?
I was hired on the original, but I believe it's
I'm
good,
in town to hire one. Done.
and I'm not on the film.
Oh, he doesn't have an attorney on his felony.
Not yet. I will.
Now, your felony is set on November the 7th.
Yes, sir.
Okay. It says here designation of attorney on that date. So you anticipate having an attorney hired by November the 7th on the felony case?
Yes, sir.
What about your misdemeanor, your 3 other misdemeanor cases?
None from there, sir.
Okay. So I'm gonna reset these cases in November the 7th. Okay. Now that's, go ahead on it. That's still, it's gonna be on the trial. We have a trial docket on that date. Okay. Jericho Lewis? Where? Okay.
I already typed it in.
That's just you next. Yeah.
Are you judge?
All right, we done fine. Who's the prosecutor? Oh, hold on. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. Next case is cause number 329216. Case is style of state of Texas versus Jericho Lewis. Ms. Lewis, is that your full name? How you doing, Ms. Lewis? I'm doing fine, thanks, actually. Ms. Lewis, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Lewis, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Ms. Lewis, you may put your hand down. Ms. Lewis, I have before me, well, Ms. Lewis, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Nathan Reynolds. Attorney Reynolds, how are you doing?
Doing well, good.
Mr. Reynolds, do you waive a record in Ms. Lewis' case?
No way, Jim.
Ms. Lewis, I have before me, information that has been filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. This information alleges that on or about November 24th of 2020, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed to class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with an alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more. Ms. Lewis, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to discharge, Ms. Lewis, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Guilty. Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Plead guilty.
Okay, so you plead guilty because you are guilty? Okay, now, Ms. Lewis, let me see, hold on a minute. Ms. Lewis, I also have before me a document that is titled the misdemeanor plea admonishment. Also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, Ms. Lewis, there's a set of initials JL that's on the line next to boxes that guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of this same document, Ms. Lewis, there's a signature above the line that's titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Now, Ms. Lewis, I also have another document here. This document is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on this line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
There are 2 boxes that's checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And oh, here we go. Ms. Lewis, I also have another document here. This document is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, Ms. Lewis, before you sign and initial all of these documents that I've just mentioned to you, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Lewis, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment. State, you like to offer State's 1?
Yes, Your Honor, State Office Stage 1.
Any objections?
No objection, Judge.
No objection. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Reynolds, you've advised that Ms. Lewis, is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
None to my knowledge.
Ms. Lewis, the attorney, Mr. Reynolds, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided fully effective and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Lewis, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
What is that agreement?
Your Honor, in exchange for defendant's plea of guilty in this case, the state is recommending confinement in the Jefferson County Jail for a period of 90 days, Your Honor. We're asking that the court suspend imposing that sentence and place the defendant on community supervision for a period of 1 year, Your Honor, requiring the defendant to pay a $1,000 fine to complete 60 hours of community service. And in addition to the standard DWI probation conditions, Your Honor, we're asking that the defendant be required to complete a DWI education course, plus drug and alcohol analysis, and that she has a interlock device installed.
Okay, Ms. Lewis, state is offering that you serve 90 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you'll be placed on probation for 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $1,000 plus court costs of $422, which comes a total of fine and court costs of $1,422. You'll be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month. You'll be required to reimburse Jefferson County Court-appointed attorney's fees of $250. You will also be required to pay Jefferson County DWI education class and initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, your total monthly installments, that is, the total amount that you'll be required to pay each month while you're on probation is $230 a month. Will you be able to pay the $230 each month?
Yes, sir.
You'll also be required to perform 60 hours of community service. You'll be required to install the DWI interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate. You'll all be required to attend and complete a DWI education class and have a drug and alcohol assessment, and you'll be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. Ms. Lewis, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Lewis, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Ms. Lewis, you're gonna stand on the X next to your attorney, and you're gonna follow the directions of the court clerk. Once you finish following her directions, Ms. Lewis, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. Thank you.
Okay. All right, Ms. Lewis, can I get your right thumbprint on that blue? Thank you. You come with your thumb. Ma'am. Oh, you're good. I already picked up your thumbprint. I'm just about to get your signature now. All right, I'm sure. Can I get your signature on that signature pad located in front of you? You won't be able to see it, but I. Okay, and now Mr. Reynolds, can I get your signature? Thank you. And now, Ms. Lewis, can I have you raise your right hand? Please swear that you've never before been given probation or deferred to adjudication for a felony or misdemeanor in this or in that. And you have no other pending charges that you're in. All right. Here is your paperwork. You're looking to report to the probation office because it has to learn how to get there in this case. And the brief. You're welcome. As the last paperwork. You have the next, please.
Yeah.
History judge, never been in trouble before,
Okay.
so I don't think that'll be an issue.
That's good.
First arrest of it.
Okay. Taylor, Jadarian. Okay, let me see, I'm gonna have to, I think I'm gonna have to shut it down and try. It'll be the last one on. Yeah, there it is. This is cause number 333310. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Jadarian O'Brien Taylor. Mr. Taylor, is that your full name? Mr. Taylor, Would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Taylor, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mr. Taylor, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Taylor? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Taylor, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Dustin Galmore. Attorney Galmore, how are you doing?
Great, this morning, Judge, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Galmore, do you waive a record in Mr. Taylor's case?
We do, Judge.
Mr. Taylor, I have before me a document that is titled information. This information alleges that on or about January 15th of 2020, that you committed to Class B misdemeanor, well, there's a Class A misdemeanor offense of theft. And this information further alleges that during a period from March 4th of 2020 until October 10th of 2022, and information arising from the same set of facts was pending in a court of competent jurisdiction, to wit, cause number 723200 in County Court at Law number 2, Jefferson County, Texas. This don't look like a cause number 4 County Court. We're not up that high.
That's a felony. That was it's a tolling of the statute of limitations.
I know, but I mean, we need to, let me do this here.
Criminal
That's
district
correct,
court.
that's easily correct. Let me do this here. Forfeiture. I do this here. Okay. Okay. Now, what I did pursuant to ex parte Harmon, 456 Southwest Third, 159. I wrote in here that the defendant is waiving his, or forfeiting his statute of limitations defense. You could go ahead on and go over this with your client. And, okay, so, in clause number 333310, case is South State of Texas versus, Jadarian O'Brien Taylor. In the state has filed the information, in this information alleges that on or about January 15 of 2020, that you committed the class A misdemeanor offense of theft. State further alleges that prior to they're doing a period of March 4th through 2020 until October 10th of 2022, the information was pending and with the same set of facts and pending in a court of competent jurisdiction. This information states that it's clause number 723200 in County Court at Law number 2, Jefferson County, Texas. Obviously, that is a incorrect, that paragraph is incorrect. So the court has in State's Exhibit number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment. The court has inserted a paragraph stating that it's a forfeiture of a limitation defense comes now the defendant and states that he is aware that he has statute of limitations defense to this charge, and he forfeits his statute of limitations defense as part of this plea agreement. And is that correct? Now, to the charge of theft, and that's pursuant to ex parte Hyman 456 Southwest 3rd, 159. Now, to this charge of theft, how do you plead? Guilty, that is alleged in the information. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Okay, now, Mr. Taylor, I also have before me a document that I mentioned to you earlier, State's Exhibit number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment. Do you recognize this document? Now, on page 2 of this document, let me do this here. There's one set of initials down here at the bottom of this document, and it's on a line next to a box that's checked no contingent, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document? Yes, now, there's a paragraph here at the top of this document that is titled Forfeiture of Limitation Defense. And it states that comes now defendant and states that he is aware of his statute of limitations defense to this charge, and he forfeits his statute of limitations defense as part of this plea agreement. Now, did your attorney go over this paragraph with you? Yes, sir. And did you understand everything that he went over? Yes, sir. All right, and is everything in this paragraph true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Yes, sir. Okay, I'll have you and your paragraph to initial, Mr. Galmore, can you and your client initial the, what that paragraph is that I wrote in? Okay, Now, Mr. Taylor, on page 3 of this document, there's a signature above the line that's titled defendant. Is that your signature? On the next document, which is titled trial court certification, defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document? And is this your signature at the bottom of this document?
Yes, sir.
Above the line that's titled defendant. Now, there are 2 boxes that's checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case, and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Galmore, do you have that discovery certification?
Yes, sir. I've already given it to you.
Okay. Oh, here it is. Okay, now, Mr. Taylor, I also have before me a document that is titled discovery certification. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Taylor, before you sign and initial these documents, did your attorney, Mr. Galmore, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Taylor, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me states exhibit number 1 and states exhibit number 2. State, you like to offer states 1 and 2?
Your Honor, state office station.
Any objections?
No, sir.
No objections. States exhibits 1 and 2 is submitted. Mr. Galmore, you advising counsel, Mr. Taylor, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Taylor, your attorney, Mr. Galmore, is advising counsel to. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided fully effective and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Taylor, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I'll also find that your plea and waivers freely and voluntarily given. I'll also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And I will also find that your pleas and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. Now, Mr. Johnson, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is this agreement?
Your Honor, in exchange for defendant's plea of no contest in this case, the state is recommending that the court defer adjudicating guilt at this time and placing the defendant on community supervision for a period of 1 year, Your Honor, requiring the defendant to pay a $500 fine to complete 40 hours of community service, and lastly, Your Honor, to complete a depth class.
Okay, now, Mr. Taylor, the state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. During this 1 year deferred probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500, which will cost of $342, which comes to a total of $842. You also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a year analysis fee of $15 each month, and this will come to a monthly installments of $155 a month. Mr. Taylor, will you be able to pay the $155 each month?
Yes, sir.
You will also be required to perform 40 hours of community service, and you'll be required to participate in a deaf class, as well as you will be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. Mr. Taylor, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Taylor, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Taylor, if you successfully complete this deferred probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It will not appear in your record as a conviction, and you may qualify for non-disclosure. And you can talk to your attorney, Mr. Galmore, about the non-disclosure because he's quite competent in those matters. Mr. Taylor, you're going to stand on the X next to your attorney, follow the directions of our clerk. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. All right, thank you.
Hi, Mr. Taylor. Can I get your right thumbprint on that blue light in front of you?
Okay, this is cause number 329-058. Case is filed in the state of Texas versus Destiny Robertson. Ms. Robertson, is that your full name?
No, that's not my name no more.
Oh, okay, but your previous
Oh,
name
yeah.
was Destiny Robertson.
Mhm.
Okay, how you doing, Ms. Robertson?
Doing fine.
Okay, that's fine. Now, Ms. Robertson, you're here represented by your attorney Langston Adams. Attorney Adams, how are you doing?
Doing well.
Mr. Adams, what is your announcement in Ms. Robertson's case?
She has received a plea offer. I've given her the plea offer, and she said no to it.
So you want to set it for trial,
Sure.
pre-trial or trial?
Pre-trial.
Okay, all right. So we set it for pre-trial. Give us a pre-trial date,
November 14th.
November 14th, 2022. Okay, it's gonna be set for pre-trial. And Ms. Robinson, your attorney is gonna get your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, be free to go. Now, then what is your last name now?
Seltzer like apple seltzer.
Salsa? Okay, you recently got married. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, you have a blessed day. Mr. Paget, did, your client is going to appear via Zoom?
Yes, Your Honor. Was hoping that he was already up on Zoom. Is he not on?
No, he's not on.
Okay, then I'm gonna step away and get him on Zoom. It was, I
Okay.
gave him the link 10 minutes ago. Thank you very much. I'll be right back, Your Honor.
Okay. And we're gonna be in we're probably gonna be in a hearing. We may be in a hearing when you come back on.
Okay, Your Honor.
All right. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. Court is back in session with its trial docket. Next case is cause number 327-504. Case is style of State of Texas versus Michael Billy Wayne O'Daniel. Mr. O'Daniel, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. O'Daniel?
Real good. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. O'Daniel, you're represented in this case by your attorney, Attorney Laura Perazzo. Attorney Perazzo, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're welcome. And the state is represented in this case by Attorney Tommy Coleman. Attorney Coleman, again, how are you doing?
Good, Your Honor.
Now, Ms. Perazzo, Mr. O'Daniel's case was set on the court's jury trial docket. Are you waiving, is Mr. O'Daniel waiving his right to have a jury trial in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, do you have any objections? And the state is waiving this right?
No objections, and the state likewise waives its right to a jury trial.
Okay. Now, Mr. Coleman, are you ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
And defense, Ms. Perazzo, are you ready to proceed?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Coleman, would you please read the information?
Yes, Your Honor. In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas comes now the undersigned Assistant Criminal District Attorney of Jefferson County, Texas, on behalf of the state of Texas, and presents in and to the County Court at Law of Jefferson County, Texas, Michael Billy Wayne O'Daniel hereafter style the defendant heretofore on or about July the 30th, 2020, did being there intentionally, knowingly, and recklessly caused bodily injury to another, namely Teresa Lawan O'Daniel, hereafter style the complainant by striking complainant in the head with his hands, and at the time of the assault, complainant was a member of the defendant's family against the peace and dignity of the state.
And Mr. O'Daniel, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Okay. State, you'd like to make an opening statement in this case?
State waives its open, Judge.
Defense?
The defense waives its.
Okay. And Mr. Coleman, you can call your first witness.
State calls Teresa O'Daniel.
Teresa O'Daniel. Teresa O'Daniel. No response.
You have any more witnesses?
The state has no further witnesses, Your Honor. State would rest.
Okay, defense?
Your Honor, at this time, the defense moves for a verdict of not guilty and a judgment finding the defendant not guilty.
Okay. The court will grant an instructive verdict in this case. Mr. O'Daniel, you've been acquitted of these charges. A judgment will be drafted up in a few minutes. Your attorney will be given a copy. You can get a copy from your attorney. Once you get a copy, you're free to go and you have a blessed day. And Ms. Perazzo, I think this is your last case.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You'll be free to go as well and you have a blessed day.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. That was it. Yeah, it was an instructive verdict. Yeah. Yes. Let me see. Okay. Richard Anthony Hebert. Hebert. Let's come forward, Mr. Hebert. This is cause number 330186. Case of style of state of Texas versus Richard Anthony Hebert. Mr. Hebert, how you doing? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Hebert, you're representing your case by your attorney, Terrence Allison. However, appearing for Mr. Allison is his associate, Mr. Marius Allen. Mr. Allen is appearing via Zoom. Does Mr. Allen have your permission to appear in place of Mr. Allen's son?
Yes, I haven't even spoken to him about anything.
Okay. Now, Mr. Allen, how are you doing?
Good, how are you, Judge?
I'm doing fine. Now, Mr. Allen, what is the announcement in Mr. Hebert's case?
Yes, we received the discovery as well as plea offer. I'll be meeting with Mr. Airbear next week. I'll be giving him a call.
Okay, okay, give us a reset date. Okay, this case will be reset to December 9th for an announcement. Your attorney will be given a notice of your reset date. You're gonna get your reset here in court. Once you get your reset here in court, you'll be free to go. Thanks for being patient with us. We'll get your reset and you have a blessed day. All right. You have to stand on the X. Next case is cause number 326-982, case of South State of Texas versus Alexander Reed Burrell. Alexander Burrell was scheduled to be in court this morning for the court's trial docket, which was scheduled at 9 a.m. At about 9 a.m., the court's bailiff called the name of Alexander Burrell at the courthouse door. Alexander Burrell did not answer. Alexander Burrell has not appeared in court since the court's been in session. His attorney, Mr. Wright Kimbler, did appear in court. And the time now is 11:43 a.m. on today's date. Mr. Bailiff, would you please call the name of Alexander Burrell at the courthouse door? Alexander Burrell's name was just called to get at the courthouse door by the court's bailiff. Alexander Burrell did not answer. A reasonable time has passed to give Mr. Burrell an opportunity to appear in court. He has not appeared in court. State, do you have a motion?
Yes, Your Honor, they moved the ball forward.
That motion will be granted. Alexander Burrell's bond will be forfeited and a warrant shall be issued for his arrest. And clause number 326-982. And yeah, I have just one left. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session and clause number 332, case of South State of Texas versus Nicholas Devontae Eaglin. Mr. Eaglin is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Eaglin, how are you doing? Must not have his, Mr. Eaglin, do you have your mic on? Yeah, I hear something. Mr. Eaglin, can you hear me? Mr. Eaglin, can you hear me? Yeah, Mr. Eaglin, can you hear me? Okay, here we go. I can see it. Mr. Paget, that was your client, Mr. Eaglin, who briefly appeared on Zoom.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, now, Mr. Paget, what is your announcement in Mr. Eaglin's case?
Mr. Eaglin's been approved for pretrial diversion. He's signing the first Thursday in December.
Okay,
So the next signing date, he's signing.
okay. give
I've
us
received a letter and he's been approved.
December fifth.
Fifth?
The first Thursday is December first.
Oh, okay. So, Mr. Eaglin, your case is being reset to December 5th of 2022. Stay in contact with your attorney. He stated that you have a pretrial signing, I think, on December 1st. So you have to go to the pretrial signing. And then then stay in contact with your attorney. So you have a date on December 1st and December 5th. Now, Mr. Eaglin, your attorney and your bondsman will be giving notice of your reset dates. Stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. You're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Okay, y'all too. Thank you.
Okay, and Mr. Paget, I think this is your last case.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're free to go as well and you have a blessed day.
You too, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. And this will conclude the calling of the court's pretrial conference docket, the trial docket, and the announcement docket. All three dockets are scheduled at 9 a.m. on today's date of December 10th, 2022 in County Court at Law Number 2, Jefferson County, Texas. Judge Terrence Holmes presiding. Everyone, please have a blessed day.